Lou, of course, your name, I mean, people know you. Tattoo Lou.
Something like that.
Yeah, of course. When did you get started? How many years ago?
Well, I'm second generation tattoo artist. Actually, my dad started Tattoo
So
Lou's.
you grew up.
I grew up around tattoos. I'm tattooing 25 years. I was drawing around the shops, hanging around the shops when my father was tattooing, and my father handed over the tools and showed me how to do it.
How old were you when the first tattoo?
Gave a first tattoo. Probably like right after high school.
Yeah.
I started working on my dad. Actually, I tattooed his arms.
Oh, really?
And that's how he taught me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And what about the first one you got?
First one I got was actually I got a tattoo machine. That my father did on me, again, handing over the tools of the trade.
I was 8 years old. How old were you when you got that first one?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Wow, I would think maybe you skirted a little earlier.
Yeah, well, when I was in high school, not too many people got tattooed, but, that young.
Uh-huh.
But you see more and more young people getting tattooed heavily today.
Yeah, what's the, you do any type of work at your portrait or?
Oh, do I
well,
have
I don't
any?
even know that. Yeah, well, you personally, what type of?
What type of tattoos?
Yeah.
All different styles. I really like color. I like bold, vivid color work.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that? What was that tat show that was on a while ago? It was the basic, get a bunch of people.
Ink Masters.
They have to Ink Masters. Yeah.
There's been a whole bunch of seasons by now, and we actually have a bunch of the Ink Masters people coming down to the show at the United Ink.
It was a very interesting show to get. Just to get people. People seem to be so much more willing to get tattoos.
Especially you say me starting as a young artist, you wouldn't believe it. You tell somebody that you can give them a free tattoo, and it line up. There's a whole line of people just wanting to get tattooed, and meanwhile, you never did a tattoo before in your life, and you're going to screw it up, and they're just lining up. They don't care. They just don't care. If you tell them it's a free tattoo, they're there.
They just want to get the free tattoo. It's amazing because it just really does seem so permanent.
It's quite permanent too.
Yeah.
I mean, I started tattooing some of the dogs in the neighborhood. They don't come around anymore.
They don't. I always thought about it over the years and kept thinking about it and not quite knowing what I want because I felt it was so important because it was permanent that you absolutely 100% know what you want and want to. But then I guess I talked to a few people and they're like, no, it's not even like that. If you think about it like that, you'll never get one. Something that might interest you at that moment in your life, you could put on, and then maybe 5 years later, you're not as into it, but you were at the time, and it kind of puts a living little
it kind of resembles a time
history.
In your life. That's usually the way it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people get different things that have different memories for them or just something that's going on in their life at that time, and that's what it is. It becomes a memory. But once you get the first tattoo, after that, it just becomes like a part of your body, and you can live with it. It's
like that first dent in your car, and then you just
you're
hitting poles,
there.
You don't care. It's there. Let me just mark up the whole thing. Wow. So you're going to be there Saturday, of course.
Of course, I'll be there.
That's and what are we going to see? Are people getting tats?
There'll be about 400 tattoo artists there from around the world.
Wow.
Tattooing right there on the spot. So people either make appointments or they come down, they look around, and a lot of artists will be taking walk-ins, so you can come there and get tattooed. So
that's pretty.
What are you getting?
Right? I'm like yeah. I don't know, in your 50s, the first one, breaking your tat cherry.
Oh, believe it or not.
At 53.
We get a lot. That's like a prime age for people getting tattooed today.
Is it?
Yeah. We get them. They come in, get their first tattoo, and then before you know it, they're looking like Jade here.
Yeah, well, not looking like her. That's for sure. Well. A little more than just the tats. I am really surprised at the quietness of the gun.
Yeah, well, that's the newer models. Well, it kind of comes from the old prison tattoos, the rotary machine.
Right.
And then today, it's really become very popular. The old machines had 2 coils on it and a spring, and it would make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But I love the noise of the old tattoo machines.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think that's part of the allure of
really
getting
is.
a tat is that noise and
then the smell of the soap that we used to use. Not everybody uses it anymore, but the green soap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did now your family? How long been in the business since?
My father started Tattoo Lose in 1958.
1958.
Yeah.
Must have done a lot of hula girls on arms, things like that.
Yeah,
a lot of those
exactly.
U.S.
Sailors,
Navy, the anchors,
yeah,
stuff like that. Now he probably went through that time where everyone was petrified because of AIDS. I guess a lot of people were like, and then I guess we've realized over the years that it really wasn't an issue as long as it's new.
Yeah, I mean, everything today
right.
is all sterile, brand new, comes out of the package right in front of you. You know, we open up a brand new needle, brand new ink is poured into a cup. So everything, there's, no, cross-contamination.
Was there a drop-off during that time where people just didn't, was there a noticeable?
I think it basically, tattoos just became more and more popular as time went on. I mean,
So
it didn't really
matter,
affect it, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't matter what publicity you're getting on something, it could be good, you know?
Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that somebody came in and wanted tatted, and you were just like, I'll remember this as being fucking crazy?
Well, I had this one guy who used to come in the shop all the time, and we've probably done 30, 40 tattoos on him at least. And every time he came in, he always had a weird thing that he wanted. Like he got, I did actually women's legs under his arm. With the bush.
The bush is the armpit. Jesus Christ.
He had this big hairy bush too. And I did these beautiful stockings on a woman's leg. The same guy got a bird pulling a worm out of his belly button.
I've seen the monkey asshole at the belly button.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But this guy just had them all. He had rabbit ears coming out of his asshole with Yosemite Sam saying, "Get out of that hole, you dirty rabbit."
Holy shit! What a nut!
He also he actually got Tattoo Lose written across his whole stomach too.
Really?
Yeah. He was a dedicated customer.
That is a dedicated customer. Wow. I saw some guy at I was at the Adventurers Club at Disney World. And there's a guy that was covered in Disney tattoos, like completely.
Oh yeah,
and he ended up being. I saw him on a TV show, but he was there like in person, just kind of sitting at the bar, and people were taking pictures with him and stuff. And it was over the course of years that he had just had every character and scenarios and rides from the park and stuff. And that's pretty cool. There's not many people that just have one theme on their whole body.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like
I mean,
that.
if you're going to start getting tattooed, it's always better. Like years ago, everybody got like little tiny tattoos and then they kind of like piecemealed them together. But if you're going to start getting tattoos and you don't have work, I always recommend thinking about the bigger picture. So that this way you get something nice that's going to blend in all together. And, it's better to go larger in the beginning.
Are you surprised when people get maybe their first tat and how quickly they're back on the phone with you?
It's definitely addicting. You'd be amazed. Like, you say like a 50-year-old man coming in, getting a tattoo. Like I had this one guy, 50 years old, came in, got his first tattoo, always wanted a tattoo, 50, I'm getting his tattoo. Came in, he got a little tattoo, and before you know it, about 3 years later, I mean, he was fully sleeved out, legs done. I mean, he was covered in tattoos. He actually ended up getting something on his neck. And then he got a hammerhead shark on the side of his head. And he worked in a dock with all the boats with like a lot of rich people in their boats and stuff, and he ended up like losing his job over it.
Wow.
And then he like told the guy he was going to go after him for like discrimination, and then he got his job back though.
I guess the guy was scared.
Yeah,
probably. He's
probably listening right now saying, he remembers that, huh?
There is a certain discrimination though that goes with tattoos. People are kind of scared to put them where people will see them. Like I was saying before with Jade, to go past the wrist seems to be that really jumping off. Like, okay, I'm committed now.
Yeah, I think years ago it was definitely a lot more of a commitment. Where today is it's so well accepted and so many people are getting them that it's not looked at as badly as it was back then.
I think though, if you're trying to get that, I don't know, Wall Street job perhaps, and you got a neck tat, there might be an issue with that. I don't think there should be. I think the person's ability should probably speak for itself. But you might have to give some thought as to what you think your future might be before you get that really out there tat, huh?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Some people, you'd be surprised though, like some of these Wall Street guys that are, wearing their suit and tie all day. They take off their shirt and then you're like, holy crap, they're covered in tattoos.
Yeah, all over the place.
But they keep it, respectable.
How many, if any, tramp stamps do you still do?
We still do a lot of them.
You
Actually,
do?
they became popular. I don't know 15 or so years ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was a hot thing. It was.
It certainly was. Right?
I think they're great.
I still like them on the right. The thing is, you don't see many of them on younger bodies anymore. So I think the last one I saw, I was at Wallbaum Supermarket. And some woman was bending over to get some Goya beans off of the bottom there. They always put them down there. And, she had a kid that was not in the cart. Kid's walking and everything. She was not a kid. And, people, they have to live. I think a lot of people think like, oh, what is that going to look like when you're 60? Or something.
Who cares?
What do you have to say to that whole thing?
Who cares?
Who cares, right?
I mean, you're going to be all wrinkled up, and what's the difference?
Exactly.
You got some artwork on you,
Yeah.
So, I mean, the artwork today is so much nicer, so they'll hold together much better,
Right.
So it's a lot different than the old tattoos that blur out and everything,
Yeah, all I knew about tats growing up was my dad's, and I just remember this blob of red, green, and black. And
that's all they had back then.
Yeah, supposed to be mom or army.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell what it was. What changed over the years because you just think, hey, it's a needle and ink. What the fuck difference could it be? What makes the difference between such fine detail now and...
Well, a lot has changed. Like one thing we were talking about is the machine, like the sound of the machine. It's just a different style machine that's used mostly today. I mean, still people use the coil machines. They're still great. But the needles have changed tremendously. I mean, there's all different shapes and sizes and styles of needles. So you can get much finer detail and make the work much cleaner. Also, the ink has changed a huge amount.
I guess,
especially the colors. I mean, like we have ranges of colors, like 150 different colors now, whereas before it was like 3 colors, like you said, and that was it. But the ink is much better quality, more high concentration of pigment. So it stays longer, looks better, and stays nice and crisp.
Nice. And about where on the body have you noticed the most painful place?
The armpits. No.
Yeah, right.
That is a very sensitive spot, but your privates.
I would think that would. Yeah, I've seen some pictures anyway of work done where I could not even imagine. Like right down the shaft of.
Oh yeah. People are crazy.
Have you done any genital
things.
work over the years?
Close to it, but
close.
Not right on it.
Close, but literally no cigar.
But I've seen people get it done right in front of me. Yeah.
That's a special kind
Actually,
of...
I got a good one for you.
All right.
We were at a tattoo convention, and it was a very slow convention in Madison, Wisconsin. And my wife's laughing because she knows the story already. But one of the artists, actually who was on Ink Masters, was getting his penis tattooed. All right. And his apprentice was doing the tattoo on him.
Come on.
So he wanted the truth written on his penis. The truth hurts. No, because he would say the truth hurts, but he was getting the truth. And she spelt it wrong.
Come on.
She wrote THR, truth.
What the fuck does that even mean?
She was. I don't know what she was thinking when she did it, but she wrote the truth, and now that's his nickname. That's like his name, the truth. And so everybody calls him that. Like his Facebook page even has the truth. The truth.
And then to have to ask, like, oh, where'd you get your nickname?
Long story.
Yeah. But he wanted the truth so he could say the truth hurts.
Yeah. But the best part is...
It's a long way to go for the joke.
But the best part is he didn't even know it until, like, he was, like, showing it off. He was like, yeah, look what I just got. Like, walking around a convention, showing it off. And some girl tattoo artist that he showed it to, she's like, wait a minute, let me see that again? And she told him, and he was like, no, are you kidding me?
How would he not know it was misspelled immediately?
Immediately, right?
Yeah, that's
Someone needed
wow.
a dictionary.
I don't think we're gonna top that, people.